Hey everyone, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be looking at Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Promise, the graphic novel that came out a few years ago. So this is the first of a long-running series of books that have come out since the show. I've got a few more here, but today we're just going to be looking at The Promise, all three parts of it. And yeah, giving my impressions and what I thought. Most of the video will be spoiler free until the end, where I'll sort of give my thoughts on some things I really liked and some things that I didn't like, if there were any. So this will be sort of like a long running thing on my channel where I'll review each book at a time. And yeah, if you enjoy it, then maybe subscribe and you can keep up with what I think. I'm going to try and make these little reviews as quick as possible. I'm not going to go into depth, just my thoughts of the whole thing. Basically, do I recommend it, the art style, what I think of that, the characters, the basic premise, and a couple of spoilers at the end, but I won't go into details before that. So yeah, basically the promise is about Aang making a promise to Zuko that he'll basically end him if he turns out like his father. Everything's going fine. Zuko is still quite conflicted with a lot of things within his life. I mean, half of his family is, in prison. Even though they're terrible people, it's still his family. And now he's the Fire Lord, so yeah, he's obviously got a lot on his plate. So Aang and Zuko, they come up with this plan called the Harmony Restoration Movement, and it basically gets all the Fire Nation out of the Earth Kingdom because the Fire Nation had colonized them over the last 100 years. So yeah, they basically want to get them out, bring them back to the Fire Nation, and this is where some conflict comes in because in the Earth Nation, some of them have, become great friends with some of the Fire Nation, and, some of the Fire Nation have had families with people from the Earth Nation. So there's family units that are living in the Earth Nation, and so you can't just separate them like that. And that's where a lot of conflict comes in between Aang and Zuko. So there is a sub-story with Toph and Sokka where Toph has her own metal bending school, and Sokka's helping, and that's pretty funny, it's quite lighthearted, but it also intertwines with the main story at one point. So I'm not going to go into any more detail about that. If you haven't read these books, I highly recommend it, because if you're like me, after watching the series, when it started getting near to the end of the series, I just felt like this void coming in. I just didn't want to leave the Avatar world. I wanted to stay in it. And I feel that every single time I watch it, I know that the ending is coming and I just don't want it to end. And I think these books really, really help fill that void. And these are canon. So yeah, you don't have to be reading them thinking that they're not part of the actual universe, because they are. So these events do happen in the canon timeline of Avatar: The Last Airbender. There are some things in The Promise that, don't make too much sense. Well, they make sense, but how they get there seems a bit quick. And I think you'll know what I mean when you read it. The artwork in this I thought was really good. It's very similar to the series, and the characters all pretty much seem the same. There were some weird moments that I found in the book personally that didn't quite suit the characters. It's very easy to read. I got through the book really quickly. I never felt like it was boring or anything. But yeah, overall, I really liked it. It was so cool and so nice to get back into the world of The Last Airbender. So now I'll just go into a couple of spoilers. So yeah, if you are happy with that, you can tune out and hopefully I'll see you in the next video, or you can watch this after you've read the books. So a couple of spoilers is when Aang made the promise to Zuko that he would end him if he, turned out like his father. It was so sudden. It was like Aang just agreed so quickly, and Katara sort of egged Aang on, nodding, yeah, you should. I don't know. I don't think throughout all of their history in the original series that Aang would promise, make a promise like that. I think he would promise that he would do anything to stop him, but he wouldn't promise to end his life. I thought that was quite extreme and almost out of character. But yeah, that was that. And later on down the track, when Zuko is completely going against what Aang wants, with the restoration project, he pretty much goes to try and kill him, which again seemed really extreme for Aang. He goes into Avatar state and just like automatically is just gonna kill him. So there, that was really weird. But my biggest gripe with the books is Aang and Katara's relationship seems too forced. You know, Aang is going on about sweetie, you know, calling Katara sweetie, and they're kissing, and you see Sokka like being like, ugh. Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt throughout the thing. I don't know, I felt it was just a bit unnecessary. I just found it a bit weird. I don't know. I'm sure some people really like that. And I'm not against romances or anything like that in books, but I don't know, like it just didn't fit in right. Those are sort of my biggest gripes in it, but everything else I really liked. Let me know what you think of the books if you read them in the comments. I'm not going to give any scores for these books as I go through them. I don't really believe in scoring things. Just what I think. Overall, even despite my couple of small criticisms, I think it's a really cool book and definitely worth getting if you're trying to fill that void that you probably have after watching The Last Airbender. So yeah, that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. So in the next video, I'll be looking at The Search, which is my boy Zuko on a quest to find out what happens to his mother. The whole gang get together again and go on this quest. So yeah, if you enjoyed that, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.